nominate Honorable Tajuddin Abbas.
I so second.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination.
Is hereby declared the winner and returned elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
These will be undertaken regularly throughout the life of the 10th Assembly.
House holds maiden sectorial debate. Promise to remain committed and consistent.
This is alarming and unacceptable.
And lawmakers call for investigation into revenue leakages and non-remittance of revenues generated through the Remitter platform. You are on to House Cttee, a weekly program on the workings of the legislature, precisely the House of Representatives. My name is Dehelia Mamza. In this package, lawmakers deliberate on the security of the nation and how it can be enhanced through legislations as the nation's service chiefs appear during plenary to give insights on the subject matter. We also have engagement of the House Committee on Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, with the Northeast Development Commission Board, amongst other legislative engagement in the last 1 week. Let's take a break here and return with the full package of the program. Please stay with us.
The House will pay priority attention to participatory budgeting process and delivery, law reform, electoral reform, women's participation and inclusion in governance, among others.
Thanks for staying tuned. As part of the implementation of the legislative agenda, the House has commenced its sectorial debate. This is an avenue created for the lawmakers to receive briefs on the various sectors and generally trash issues with the objective of all-round development. The maiden edition of the sectorial debate held last week and was focused on security. The Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, as well as the Inspector General of Police were in attendance to provide insights into the security issues ravaging the nation. The details of this session are presented in our first report on the program. Please stay tuned.
Help us with the grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen.
On Tuesday, 21st November 2023, the military service chiefs as well as the Inspector General of Police were admitted into the chamber following a motion moved by the Deputy Leader of the House, Representative Abdullahi Halims.
I move that the House step down its rules to allow admittance of the service chief into the chamber. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Following this, the motion for the commencement of the sectorial debate was also moved by the Deputy Leader of the House. In his remarks at the commencement of the sectorial debate, the Speaker, Right Honourable Abbas Tajuddin, expressed delight that they were commencing with the security sector, considering the unprecedented security challenges of the past decade bedeviling the nation. The Speaker added that an important component of the legislative agenda is to improve the quality of debates in the House and engage with the executive on critical issues of national interest. He noted that it is the duty of the House as representatives of the Nigerian people to ensure that the policies and programs implemented by the executive are in line with the aspirations and needs of Nigerians.
The sectoral briefs will provide us with an opportunity to scrutinize the policies, activities and plans of each MDA. It will also allow the House and members to understand better the challenges facing government agencies, their programs, and areas for legislative interventions. These will be undertaken regularly throughout the life of the 10th Assembly.
On behalf of the security forces, regret the incidents of last week that were not able to be here in person.
Making his presentation before the House, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Christopher Gwabin Musa, apologized to the Speaker as well as the House for their inability to appear in person the previous week, saying that the reason for sending representatives then was as a result of some challenges. He praised the legislature for always being a partner in progress with the armed forces and assured Nigerians that the armed forces is committed as well as ready to complement each other to ensure a secured country for Nigerians.
Since our assumption to office in June this year, we have visited all the various areas of our operations and engagements to evaluate the situation and identify ways of addressing the various identified challenges. Additionally, we held meetings together jointly to enhance jointness with stakeholders in all the states that were scheduled for the recently concluded off-season elections, and I'm sure the outcome and the performance of the security forces has been highly commended.
General Christopher called for the economic empowerment of Nigerians, noting that poverty and economic lack fosters insecurity, while he stated some of the challenges bedeviling the country which needed to be addressed.
No efforts have been made, funds have been released, but what we always want to appeal is that we don't produce what we need in Nigeria. If you don't produce what you need, which means you're on the beck and call of others that produce these items, all the items we procure are bought in hard currency, none in Naira. So most times when funds are released, by the time you convert those funds into dollars, it can only get you just very little.
Honorable members, members of the press, good morning.
Speaking earlier, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja, stated that the Army has made tremendous efforts to protect critical socio-economic infrastructure from destruction at the hands of terrorists. General Lagbaja appreciated the National Assembly for always making efforts to ensure that troops are well cared for and armed.
In the conduct of these operations, the Nigerian Army will want to appreciate the support and the cooperation of the National Assembly, especially the House of Representatives, for appropriating the fund that has been used in the provision of essential welfare support and operational needs of the troops, and has given the troops the flexibility to conduct operations in the field. If I'm to measure the effectiveness and the performance of these troops, I would say the troops have performed creditably.
Honorable Speaker of the House.
Also making his presentation, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, said that the Nigerian maritime area of interest is wide and needs to be adequately policed against pirates, smugglers, oil bunkers, and terrorists.
In order to carry out this responsibility, the Nigerian Navy over the years have developed various strategies. Our most recent strategy is what we call the Total Spectrum Maritime Strategy, in which we have divided the entire spectrum of our environment into 5 spectrums, consisting of the exclusive economic zone, the territorial waters, and the inland waters. And when I say the inland waters, I mean all the creeks and rivers up to Lake Chad. Those are part of our inland waters. Then the land spectrum. It is our total spectrum maritime strategy which we have designed that enables us to be able to deploy within the land spectrum of Nigeria's and that is why the Nigerian Navy is presently deployed in over 30 states of this country in support of the police and the army when it comes to internal security operations.
He also commended the House for its support in providing appropriations and making good public orientation to their constituents on the critical and peculiar operations of the Nigerian Armed Forces, while he called for the smooth passage of the Bill on Maritime Security Trust Fund before the National Assembly, noting that it will aid officers and men to be well secured beyond retirement and service.
The Nigerian Air Force is currently involved in 7.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Abubakar Hassan, in his own presentation, appreciated the House for the opportunity to interact with the armed forces. He assured Nigerians of the commitment of the Nigerian Air Force to contain and repel threats and criminalities within the Nigerian airspace, while he highlighted various achievements and progress made so far by the Nigerian Air Force.
Now, in efforts towards addressing activities of insurgents and other criminal elements, the Nigerian Air Force embarked on a wide range of intensive air operations aimed at not only decimating the criminals and denying them freedom of action, but also shaping the operational environment in the various theaters of operations for successful ground offensives. The Nigerian Air Force is currently involved in 7 different theaters of operations across the country.
Dynamics of crimes and criminalities in our communities.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on his part praised the police officers and men he met on assumption of office and expressed his commitment to ensuring the police force regains its glory days. He expressed worry that the United Nations ratio of 1 police to 400 individuals has not been achieved in a long while.
The ratio in Nigeria is 1 to 1,000, which suggests that we have to double the manpower in the police and over.
He, however, reiterated the commitment of the police to ensure it delivers on its mandate. Immediately after these presentations, lawmakers took turns to ask the service chiefs a wide range of questions, which were not answered before the House proceeded to an executive session for responses to the questions, following a motion moved by the Deputy House Leader, Representative Abdullahi Halims.
Honorable colleagues, with your kind permission, I can see some of the questions are quite sensitive. There are probably no questions that our invited guests will be able to conveniently answer openly. So we will go into executive session for all the answers, so that we give them all the opportunity to talk freely and to tell us transparently what all the questions that we have asked. So with your kind permission, I will call on the leader to move that the House resolve through executive session.
Upon resumption of the House from the executive session, the Deputy Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, in his vote of thanks, appreciated the contribution of the service chiefs in enlightening Nigerians on the issues of national security and the approaches to improving it.
Please lead our chiefs out of the chamber. Thank you very much for coming. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are grateful. Thank you.
The Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, then commended members of the House for their participation in the first sectoral debate of the 10th House of Representatives.
Thank you very much.
Many thanks for staying tuned to the program House Ticket as we bring you up to speed on the activities of our elected representatives in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. We have been reviewing the engagement of the House with the military service chiefs as well as the Inspector General of Police, where enhancing the security of the nation through legislations was the focus. Moving on, we shall continue with other activities of lawmakers during plenary last week, starting with matters of urgent public importance, motions from the other paper, as well as bills in their different stages of legislations. The reports.
Honor to recognize Honorable Khadija.
The House on Tuesday, the 21st of November 2023, entertained a matter of urgent public importance on the urgent need to address the recent attack on the executive governor of Yobe State. The motion was moved by Representative Khadija Waziri Bukar.
The attack resulted in the death of 2 policemen and 6 others sustained injuries, including a soldier. Worried, cognizant that the stretch has not known peace in the last couple of months due to the incessant attack where lives and proportion of citizens are lost due to the destructive activities of bandits.
In her prayers, Representative Khadija called on the relevant security agencies to ensure more personnel are deployed to the region to maintain security, peace, and order, and that the relevant committees of the House should also ensure compliance to the prayer on the motion.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
The motion was voted on, adopted, and referred to the House Committee on Defense, Army, as well as that National Security.
The motion is jointly moved by my...
From the other paper came a motion titled Call to Investigate Revenue Leakages and Non-Remittance of Revenues Generated Through the Remitter Platform. Motion was sponsored by Representative Jeremiah Umaru alongside Representative Jafaru Gamboleko.
The TSA system has created a cashless economy, transparency, and effective tracking of cash assets with attendant accountability. It has not indeed fully blocked leakages and abuses of the proliferation of CBN sub-accounts. Also aware that 1% of the fund collected is charged as commission for making use of the platform and share amongst system specs, deposit money banks, and Central Bank of Nigeria in the ratio of 50, 40, and 10, respectively. This is alarming and unacceptable.
House then resolved, among other things, to mandate the Committee on Public Accounts to investigate revenue leakages through the remitter platform and non-compliance substantively with standard operating procedures and other allied service level agreements signed among Deposit Money Banks, Office of the Accountant General, System Spec, Nigeria Interbank Settlement System (NIBSS), and the Central Bank of Nigeria, and report back within 6 weeks for further legislative action.
Arise to request the House for the reading of this bill for the second time.
On bills, the House considered about 6 for second reading, one of which was a bill for an act to establish the Institute of Debt Recovery Practitioners of Nigeria to train, regulate, license, and exercise control over the occupation of collection and recovery of debts, levies, fees, or remuneration by registered debt collectors and for related matters. Bill was sponsored by Representative Temin Adelegbe.
The whole essence of the bill is to transform the debt collection system in Nigeria by putting in place adequate mechanism to monitor the conduct and the professionalism of debt collectors and to provide a culture of good governance within the profession.
There are enabling laws.
The bill enjoyed the support of lawmakers.
Let me congratulate the mover of this motion, but he should understand that there are a lot of gratification in Nigeria. And considering the nature of the economic of this country, it is good to sympathize with the government on creating or establishing this agency because of the current economic terrain we are in Nigeria.
The bill was referred to the House Committee on Commerce for further legislative work.
Mr. Chairman, we are considering the medium-term expenditure framework.
Meanwhile, the Committees on Finance, National Planning and Economic Development and Aid, Loans and Debt Management laid its report on the 2024-2026 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MTEF) and Fiscal Strategy Paper (FSP) before the House during plenary on Tuesday, the 21st of November 2023, following a motion moved by the chairman of the Committee on Finance, Representative James Abiodun Faleke. Representative Abiodun Faleke, chairman of the Committee on Finance, gave the synopsis of the report.
The presentation of the MTEF was done on the 21st/11/2023 and was referred to the Committees of Finance, National Planning, and Aids and Loans and Debt Management. We took the documents, and of course the following observations were made, findings and observations. That the suggested benchmark oil price for 2024 to 2025 and 2026 are 73.96, for 2024, 73.76, and 69.90 respectively. We also found that the new administration has provided an enabling environment for an increased oil production volume from an average of between 1.2 million barrels to 1.6 million barrels in the previous 3 years to a projection of 1.78 in 2024, 1.80 in 2025, and 1.81 in 2026.
The House on the same day at the Committee of Supply, chaired by the Speaker, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, considered the report on the 2024-2026 MTEF and FSP and approved the recommendations therein, after which the 24 recommendations were voted on by the House and thereafter adopted.
Many thanks for still being there. And in case you just joined us, the program is House Tickets, bringing you the activities and events of your lawmakers in the Green Chamber, coming to you on the NTA Parliament. On activities from the committee room, the House Committee on Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, held its first engagement with the Commission on Thursday, 23rd November 2023.
Honorable colleagues, as you are aware, the NEDC was a creation of the Act of the National Assembly.
In his remarks, the chairman of the committee, Representative Usman Zanna, congratulated the managing director and members of the board on their various appointments. He added that the engagement is to promote a cordial working relationship between the committee and the commission, amongst other objectives.
The reason for this interaction, as I earlier said, is for the commission and the committee to familiarize with each other, since we would have working together for the reconstruction, rehabilitation, and development of the Northeast region. This interaction, therefore, is aimed at improving the constitutional oversight mandate given to the Assembly.
The chairman then assured the commission of the committee's support in discharging their duties, while also emphasizing that it will carry out its oversight functions as at when due. The managing director of the Northeast Development Commission, Muhammad Alkali, in his presentation, appreciated the committee as being supportive in discharging their duties in the northeastern region. He then assured the committee of synergy and harmonious working relationship with the commission. He added that the act establishing the commission specifically describes the commission's mandate.
The act says the commission is charged with the responsibility of, among other things, receiving and managing funds allocated by the federal government and international donors for the resettlement, rehabilitation, integration, and reconstruction of roads, houses, and business premises of victim insurgencies and terrorism, as well as tackling the menace of poverty, illiteracy, ecological problem, and any other related environmental or development challenges in the North State and for related matters.
The managing director also added that in order to achieve the provisions of the Act, the Commission must have a master plan and called for the committee's support in terms of appropriating funds in the budgetary process as well as other areas where need be. The engagement thereafter continued behind closed doors. That's it on House Tickets. Keep on watching the program for more enlightenment on the workings of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Many thanks to you for being a part of the program. See you next week.